Hello everyone. So the next steps for the Dalek build are coming up. Right now I've been working on the interior of the cockpit. I've also been working on the eye of the Dalek. We've got more base plate pieces to work on, so there's not much more to say. Let's get going. So Kip has done a really nice job on the remake of these parts. This was the original that he sent based on some of the photos that I've seen of the interior of the Dalek. There's this machine part that sits in the background, but what he created was a little on the tall side. So he created version 2, and this is the version 2, and it looks terrific. This is a resin cast. The detail on it is quite nice and does match with what you can see of them in the actual model, in the actual prop. So these are going to get painted and installed into the cockpit area of the Dalek. Kip has also redone the work on these little cylinder pieces that sit on either side of the mutant. These are the original ones that he sent me that were printed, filament printed, and have the holes in the bottom to be able to attach. The original resin prints, he was not able to get the holes into the bottom, but he has since fixed that, and the new one has the holes in the bottom, and it locks directly on top. So once that's ready to be glued on, a couple drops of CA, and that will glue down very nicely. And these, of course, are going to go into the cockpit as well. So these will each get painted and then set into their locations. These parts are now painted and ready to be installed. These were very easy to take care of. All I needed to do was put a coat of primer onto them. In this particular case, I used the Tamiya surface primer. And then on each of these, I started with the Tamiya surface primer, but then I went ahead and gave them a coat of the black paint. This has actually allowed the silver that I've put on top to really be shiny and pop, and it's also created some sort of some forced shading in some areas, which is going to be nice. Now these are a little on the shiny side for what I want them to be, but I'd rather them be shiny now and then be able to dull them down as do any weathering once they are in place in here. So you can see what they look like. They are much nicer now that they are shorter. They fit the part a lot nicer now. And that's how that's now looking. The next thing I need to do is to put in the wire that connects through all of these two copper pieces here, and then start to get those glued down into place. Now, because I'm going to be doing the rubber flooring on here, or at least that's the plan at the moment, I'm not going to glue these into place at this stage. I'm going to hold off on that. By the large amount of mess on my work area here at the moment, you can see that there's quite a bit going on. To focus in on the material here, this is a rubber material that was sent to me. Thank you, Kip. This has a lined, ridged pattern going across it. If you look closely at the floor area of the Dalek, it is actually has the same ridge pattern going across the surface. Now, this is not exactly scale, I think, to what we would see in the real thing, but it's pretty close. It will give the general effect to it. So as you can see, I've already cut out a circle so far, so that I have that basic piece ready to go. However, because of the modifications that I've done to the interior, I actually need to sort of create a pattern. So I need to remove all of this material here. And then from the existing surface area here, I'm going to cover this in masking tape and create a pattern that I can then stick to the back of the rubber and then be able to cut it out to get the correct shape. When I had put these pieces in, I actually had glued them down, so they are now fixed in. So I can't take these back out at this stage to make my job a little easier. But they're so far in the back, they're going to be underneath the Kaled Mutant that if there's a little area that is not perfect back there, it's really not going to be noticeable. Well, I'm trying to keep an eye on things. So this is where I'm at the moment with the second Kaled Mutant that I was able to get and working on trying to paint up the eye. If you take a look at the picture of the prop Kaled Mutant, you can see that the eye is the yellow in the center, got the black pupil, I've got the little ring going around the pupil area. Still not entirely happy with the orangey dots, and then around the edge I've got a little bit of bloodshot going on there. So that's where I'm at the moment with going through this. Pretty close to being happy with that. You know, I'm not an artist that can paint eyes, so this is way outside my comfort zone. But you know, for what it is at the moment, it's not too bad. As far as the colors that I used white for the background of the eye. I had my yellow for the main yellow part of the eye. The orange spots had there, and then for that ring I used an old depot buff from Polyscale, and then I also used the clear red for around the edge, the sort of bloodshot areas around that. So let me set this into the actual mutant model and show you how this is looking at the moment. So I got to roughly hold this in place to be able to show this to you, but this is how that's looking now. Obviously, there's a lot more painting that needs to be done to the mutant. I need to get some reds and purples. There's some greens that go through this area as well. And that should help to make the eye blend better into the actual surroundings of the mutant itself. And you know, when I go to do the other mutant, hopefully, you know, those things that I'm learning from this one will help. Now, one of the things that I am considering for the next one is instead of using the white for the back of the eye, I think I'm going to use Model Master's acrylic here. And this is a slightly tan, so it's an off-white. It's definitely not that white, stark white color that you can see here on the practice one. I think that's going to help. So finally on to issue number 39. This is the same as we've had with this part here, so it's going to be a pretty quick build to put together, all the same parts, just now it's going to be the other side, so it's going to be in reverse. For this last step in step number 39, we have 3 of these blocks. We had put 1 onto the piece that we did originally. We're going to be putting 2 onto here, and the second one onto the first one that we did. And now with that, step number 39 is completed. On to step 40. Step number 40. So another large plate that's going to be going in. Once again, we're provided with the bolts and the nuts. I'm going to once again replace these nuts with the nylon lock nut just to make sure things don't vibrate apart. I'm also going to use my own nut driver and hex driver to be able to put these in instead of the provided ones from the kit. And we are going to need our 2 pieces from our previous step. So let's get into it. So as before, this plate is actually going to go underneath the larger plate. And then we're going to go ahead and get the screws into those top 3 holes located right across here. This rectangular cutout is supposed to be on the left-hand side, so I've got that where that is supposed to be. So, slide that first screw underneath, up through, just going to put the nut on finger tight, and then from here go ahead and start getting all the rest of the screws and nuts into place. Of course, everything right now is all loose and floppy, so now it's time to give everything a good tighten and make sure that it's ready to go on to the next step. And with everything tightened up, that is the end of step number 40. On to the next one. So this is issue 41, and you can see this is a very big piece that's going on here. That's going to be getting attached to this side of the base plate, making this a lot larger. So I need to get things positioned. Again, we've got our nuts and bolts that are going to go on and get this all together. So now I need to actually take the front section here and get it attached to the front all the way up here. And you can see this is now not even fitting all the way on the screen. I'm going to get this front section attached, and then I'll be right back to show you how this all looks. So that's the end of this step, and as you can see, this thing's getting really large. I've actually had to raise the camera up a little higher in order to be able to show everything. Our final step for this month is the exact same thing that I've done over here. So I'm going to turn this all the way around and be able to get started on that. So step number 42, the answer to life, the universe, and everything. We're sitting right here. This is where it's at. So I tell you, this Dalek model is large. We knew that going in. Every one of us building this, we knew that this thing was going to be big. This is getting quite impressive for what we've got here. So this plate, just like the other one, is going to get attached right underneath here, and that's going to give us pretty much our overall width and length of the Dalek skirt base. So there's obviously a lot more that has to go on. Let's get this piece put on. So now that I'm doing these last two screws, this is bringing us to the end of the build for this month. However, there is still a lot more to come as far as what we got to do on this piece. You can see all the triple sets of holes. So we have more of these plastic riser pieces to put in. We've got a bunch of these double holes, so we've got more of these smaller risers that need to go into place. And there's some more plating that needs to go in. We've got some plating that's going to go inside here. I believe there's some plating that's going on both ends as well. These 4 areas are where the wheels are going to go. And I believe that 1, 2, 3, 4, and then right in the middle are some lights, so that we have a bit of a glow coming out from underneath. So I'm hoping that that I'm right on those lights in those areas, and that we'll have a nice glow coming through. If there isn't a nice bright glow coming through, I may need to see about putting in some extra lights to make sure we get a nice blue glow coming out from underneath. But this is where we're at for this month. This is looking pretty big. Another month has gone by. Another section of the Dalek has been built. There's more to come. There's more to do. We're going to get more of the interior of the cockpit done as things progress forward. There is more to do on the Dalek base, between the wheels and more of the frame. We also have the outer bumper coming up, so there's a lot that's going to be going on in the next few months. Please come back and join me again. Thank you very much, everybody, for subscribing, and those of you who have liked and have sent me comments privately through the Facebook page. That's been great. Those of you who can do so, please go ahead and subscribe on YouTube, and also like and comment on YouTube as well. Thanks very much. Have yourselves a good rest of your month, and we'll see you next time.